Hello, hello, hola, mahaba, mahaba, hola, mahaba. How's everyone? No one's on yet. People come and join me. Wait for a few people to come on. If there's anybody on, let's see. There could be people on. How is everyone doing this evening? I hope everyone is well. I hope you're all safe and in a good place. And I hope you've eaten, and I hope you're hydrated. I hope everybody's good. And we start off with that because a lot of people aren't good, and a lot of people have not woken up today. So no day is ever going to be 100%, but you always make the best of it for whatever comes your way. No one has it easy. That's just how life works out. No one has it easy. Some have it easier than others. Some, well, there's a lot of chaos and trauma. But all right, nonetheless, on that, just waiting for a few people to come on. In the meantime, I'll just keep on talking. I'm looking at my TV. Um, I might try to put a block on my account because I posted something. Well, they won't block it. It's freedom of speech. Talking about it, I posted something, a situation that occurred with me where I was essayed, and well, the wonderful NYPD did nothing about it. But so that's on my page. You can look at that. But I'm not here to talk about that loser. Um, so uh, I want to say that um, during the month of Ramadan, you know, Ramadan just started. So last night in Times Square, they had the prayer, and there were thousands of Muslims. We were there. I wasn't there, but anyway, there was an agitator, and the agitator um, continued to bang his drum and um, spewing all kinds of untruths and nonsense. So, but that is the way, seems to be the way of society, because um, in the evangelical Christian world, um, which has now been taken over by MAGAs because they're far right religious fanatics. Um, you know, the hatred and the lies about Islam are very, very big, and there's many of them. So for this person who is an agitator, maybe he'll learn some education. But uh, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing to see. Uh, you know, peace and blessings to everybody. People need to stay correct. Try to be correct, because life is really short and it goes by quick. Who are these people on here? But anyway, I want to say something to speaking, just speaking in general about things that go on. But I'm going to give a message to our president, Mr. President. Hello, Donald. Hi, Mr. President. Yeah, like he watches me. Well, who knows? Maybe. But Mr. President, I have a suggestion for you. I don't hate you. I don't care for you. I think you're a pretty vile person, but as a human, from one human to another, I extend my humanity to you. So, from my humanity to you, Mr. President, because you're having this is a very good thing for you, Mr. Donald President. This is chamomile. You can have your staff. Now, this company, Badia, I think they may have supported you. Any case, chamomile. Have yourself some chamomile. Get yourself like a good night's sleep. Take yourself a really relaxing. Do some hydrotherapy, Mr. President. Put yourself in some hydrotherapy. Have a cup of chamomile tea. put some Vicks on your feet and on your calves. It'll help with pain in the legs because you are suffering from congestive heart failure. I can see it by looking at your under eyes because your under eyes are carrying trunks. So that's a sign of congestive heart failure because what happens is the fluids build up. They build up in our arteries, they build up in our dermis. And they build up in the dermis when you don't have adequate blood flow. So um, you need to get proper rest. You need to take a warm bath with Epsom salt and put some lavender oil in it and try to get yourself some rest because you're looking pretty shitty. You know, you're not a spring chicken no more. So, but you're looking pretty not good. And as far as the tariffs, Mr. President, well, did you think that people are going to idly sit by and allow this to continue? I mean, really. Like, if I could talk to you and say, like, hey, buddy, no, uh, I would be like uh, your health advisor, Mr. President, Mr. President, Mr. President. Um, yeah, because you're not looking good. So, as far as the tariffs go now, did you think they were going to just lay down? Did you think these other countries were going to allow you to trample all over them? No. So now you want to go with the what 10 to 15%? I mean, when are you going to make life easier for Americans, not billionaires, regular working people, someone like myself, even though I'm no longer working, but I'm in that blue collar housewife. That's a trademark that I recorded, um, and also for a show that I want to get going. But life has to be easier for us regular people. So I really hope that you do not go forward with this. In all honest, 100% sincerity, I hope you do not proceed with this. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Um, yeah, so you're not looking good. You haven't been looking good, and you got to take better care of your health. And I hope that you just really put the brakes on this nonsense with these tariffs. And I really hope and pray that you pull ice, take ice, get them out of our cities, right? Because this is, you're allowing Stephen Miller to run the show. And as you see, this performance, you get 1 star. You're going to get 1 star. All right. So if you want to improve your ratings, you're going to have to make some changes and you're going to have to stop with this nonsense with ICE because the immigrants that are here are contributing to our economy. And because of this stuff that you have done by having all of these illegals, as you say, illegals, these people, you're harboring them like as if they're rug lords, but yet meanwhile back at the White House ranch, like my mother used to say, back at the ranch, you go ahead and you let that freehold guy from freaking the president from Honduras come into the United States because he paid you. So your game is up, your gig is up, your gig is up. So I hope that you focus on being a leader and building us up. If you want to hire me to be in your admin, I'd be more than happy. You can even not pay me and I would donate whatever you'd want to pay me. Yeah, I would donate it to a domestic violence, a DV, you know, because you're effing up royally. I mean, this guy is like off the chain. But anyway, that's how that's going. In other breaking news, if you now allow Israel to engage in warfare with Iran, they're going to obliterate us. They are going to obliterate us. Like I said in the video, and I said it incorrectly, the moon and the sun. If the moon tries to go near the sun or get too close to the sun, it's going to erupt and it's going to dissipate. So we would be the moon. Iran and China are the sun, right? And as far as as far as timing and life and historical content, and if you look at the flag of China, what's in that flag? The sun. Take that as a warning. Take that as a warning. Take what's around you as a warning, you know? Maybe you can like live in that type of a world. It's not an ethereal world, it's a real world, but being cognizant and observing things, but you're allowing these people in your cabinet to have you like a puppet, you know? Because you talked this whole all this stuff while you were running. You know, oh, Tonto, ride him! Come on, Tonto, let's go round him up. I mean, people that are here working. So now you've broken up families. You've had people that have been here 20, 30 years that have purchased homes, that own businesses, that they had to vacate their homes, leave their poor animals because they got picked up. I mean, where's your freaking heart? And you want to go to heaven? You need to do some serious soul searching and get right with God. And you need to get right with the American people. You know, you need to do that. You need to do that because you know what they say is a royal flush. Well, you're giving us a royal flush down the toilet bowl. You know, and that's for sure. But anyway, hope all is well. Otherwise, um, yeah, this is life, right? This is where we are in current American history, and it's really it's not good. It's not good. And even your supporters are now turning against you because they're like, wow, this guy, he, you know, it's kind of like when a woman dates a guy and he's so nice and like when you first meet him, like it's like they're, best behavior, like let's put that mask on. Oh, I'm gonna be the perfect gentleman until I get her. And then after I get her and she's in my claws and she's there, then the real me is gonna show up. So, well, you were like that performing date guy, the guys who act so nice and kind, and there's but then after then the real person shows up. So basically, like we all knew who you were, but the real person, your real person showed up, so people know you. But no, you're not doing good. You're not doing good. And if you want to have people support you, and you want to stop this madness, you might want to seek some better advisement. Like I said, hire me. I'll work in the White House and I'll donate my salary for domestic violence. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yes, I will. But anyway, on another note, well, I was going to start with a song, but I can't sing. No. Remember? Well, I'm talking to people. Remember? Typing school. ASDFJKL semicolon ASDFJKL semicolon ASDFJKL. So hit the you'd have to hit the you had to hit the tab key. But years ago, because I'm so freaking old, circa 1960, my birth year. But um, the typewriters I worked on, they didn't have the automatic return. Junior high school, they had the one where you had it you're typing on the keyboard and then it had that arm where you'd have to turn it. It was New York City schools, right? Like, why invest in education and good equipment for the future of society? Give us all broken down shit. But anyway, that was like a secretarial school. That's like a little thing. It's a song, but it's funny. I'm not going to do it now. But anyway, yes, I'm a comedian. I am. But anyway, I hope everyone has a great weekend. We're supposed to be getting a lot of snow, and that means, well, more money for a snowplow, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? You know, I'd rather take snow than a hurricane, and have my house flooded out and, be taken out to sea and then not have insurance or have to pay like an enormously ridiculous amount, like what's been happening in Florida, you know. Speaking of Florida, Florida in '08 was like the initial beginning of the economic housing downturn. Yeah, that's what happened in Florida and Texas when it happened in '08. Same numbers now. Everything goes in cycles. The house prices are too high. Now there's been all this chaos going on in our country. So many people are no longer part of the workforce because a lot of the people that have been part of the workforce boosting our United States economy, they have been disappeared. Because why? Because yo no sabe Moreno. He doesn't like, he doesn't know, he doesn't know, he doesn't know, he doesn't like. No me gusta, no me gusta, no me gusta melon. And that's really effed up of you. But you come from that kind of life where you had your, well, like I said, you had your butt pampered, and you were given a big fat check when you were a young man, and then you did what you did with it. But yeah, and plus your family had a history of that. So, it is what it is. You know what? We don't, every single one of us who we are, our personality is what it is. And, so your personality is what it is how you feel about minorities. And you could say, well, like I was watching The View, and that woman, that Gert, whatever that lady's name is, the one that the parents went to prison, one of the father, the Grizzlies, um, you know, and you saved a black woman. Yeah, you saved a black woman's life. Okay. I don't know the story behind that, but I mean, basically, to everybody in America, you're a big old fat ugly racist. But you're who you are. So that's on you. But you know, you got to do better for our country. You got to do better for our country, and you got to step it up, and you got to step it up like now. All right, because you are leaving us. Everything is chaotic. Everything is chaotic, and this so-called peace group that you started, and you have Netanyahu. Tell me, Netanyahu, who's doing what he's doing? Yeah, he's on the board of peace. I mean, like put the friggin' crack pipe down. Like, what the f is going on here? Unbelievable, unbelievable. Now, this whole thing has been planned way in advance because now all of a sudden, now you got all these grandiose plans to make it a Riviera, right? Riviera. No, this wasn't planned way in advance. Yeah, it wasn't planned way in advance. And my aunt is my uncle because she's got balls. I mean, give me a freaking break. This has been planned, and it's been planned way in advance. Yeah, boy, oh boy, great legacy, great legacy. Anyway, everybody have a good night. Stay safe. Do the right thing by people, like you're being watched. Right? Don't be a scumbag. All right. Don't be a manipulator or a liar, because if you are, it's going to come back, and it'll come back to you times 7. That's how karma goes. That's how karma goes. Be rotten to people, thinking like, you're like, you win. You may have won. You may have won at that time in place, in that moment, in your head. But trust and believe, whatever you do to somebody, if it's against their will, it's going to come back. Anything to harm people, it's going to come back. And that's how it goes. But anyway, everybody have a great night. Peace be upon you. Stay safe. And, Be careful out there. Good night, Mr. President. Remember, Epsom salt, hot bath, lavender oil, and have them put some Vicks on your feet and on your calves because your congestive heart failure is getting very congested. Mm-hmm. That's what he's got under the eyes. You can see. I know what that is because I know patients that have had that. Not patients. I don't work in the healthcare, but I am a nurturer and a healer. Anyway, have a good night. Everybody stay safe. Bye. Thanks for watching.